morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you today. I am Perla Hopkins, and I wear many, many hats. I am a Texas certified teacher, a mother with kids in public schools and colleges. I am a military veteran, and as Trustee Weston was mentioning earlier, a lot of these school districts, especially here in Central Texas, were playing by the same playbook. In September of 2021, I also put on the hat of being a domestic terrorist as I was kicked out of a school board meeting because I'm so scary, obviously. But I'm so happy here today to also announce for the very first time that I am stepping in as the Texas Director for Moms for America. They believe in empowering moms. They promote liberty and raise patriots. So this is what we're fighting for. We're fighting for the innocence of our children. And in many instances, this is a life and death initiative that we are all on to protect our children. I was asked specifically to speak today about the state of Leander Independent School District. It is just 25 miles north from here. And it encompasses over 200 square miles, so it includes many municipalities. And one of the call to action points that I will be asking you for today is to specifically reach out, not just to your legislators, but also to the many just good-hearted senators and state representatives that cover Leander ISD. Last week alone, just last week, last Monday, I had enough. I had multiple parents sending me files and files of sexual assault complaints and violent fights at my children's high school. So we're talking about Leander Independent School District, but I'm going to focus mostly on Tom Glen High School, which is part of a 48 school district. It is the newest high school, state-of-the-art, millions and millions of dollars put into this facility where most of the walls are made out of glass. And it serves as a hub for everything that's wrong in our Texas education system right now. As the parents were sending me videos and also the students, the children themselves are capturing these fights and students masturbating, they're capturing video because they have no other recourse. The students, these minors, don't understand. They cannot even legally be videotaping sexual deeds as they occur. But this is a trend that's been happening at this particular campus that the school board is well aware of, our Title IX coordinator, our superintendent, of course. So we had a very brave student step up and be the voice for many. And on February 23rd, at the school board meeting, she let the whole public know, so this is TOMA on public record, that boys were masturbating in the hallways and in the classrooms, and no one is doing anything about it. I have heard from other families that indeed their young ladies, their daughters, have been putting in these complaints. So that prompted me on February 27th to put in a PIR. That's one of the other hats I wear. I've had to become a FOIA expert along with all of you. And my PIR was titled Sexual Exploitation and Violence at Glen High School. Just yesterday, I received 9 pages of incident reports, or just a log, from September 1, 2021 to February 27th, and it's a log that's 9 pages long. And the cover of the letter states that I will be charged $9,000 for those incident reports.
Yep.
Y'all, I have had many situations of this same sort. I first began by paying the school district for their PIR nonsense, which they would come back and the majority of their answers were, we keep no such documents, until I started catching on right about a little over 2 years ago. What are they hiding? Well, I'll tell you what they're hiding. The fact that on on that same Monday, I went to Tom Glen High School, and the assistant principals and the principals conspired not to come out and meet with myself and the parent of the young lady that spoke at the school board. They lied to us, saying that no one was available, that the principal was in back-to-back meetings. At the end of the school day, I was there for over an hour and a half or so. I was told that all the assistant principals were outside at the dismissal bus school zone areas. Absolute lies. When I asked, could I please sit down in the common area and wait for an assistant principal, I was told that they all leave at 4 p.m. and that they would not give me permission to go and sit on and wait on any of them. When I asked for my parental rights to be, given to me and provided, I was told that part of what I was claiming was part of the student's fault. When I started presenting that part of the reason I was there, part of my report was to indicate that a gruesome fight that had just occurred the week prior was caught on video, and it was just pretty brutal, between a 19-year-old with an arrest record against a freshman, and it lasted quite a long time in the common area during passing periods. No staff showed up to help the student. The fight was not broken up until two brave students stepped in, and so that's a problem in itself. The fact that assistant principals, part of the safety teams, are to be monitoring the passing periods, the lunch periods, and I can say that as well because I have a Master's of Arts in Teaching Secondary School, and I used to teach at that campus. So I'm very well familiar with all the curriculum, processes, with all the safety processes, you name it. So I was not given the permission to have someone sign for the incident report that I was trying to submit. When I went outside, after I was asked to leave the school by the principal's secretary and the AP's secretary as well, again, they all planned this. I think it was because the mother and myself didn't plan this. You don't plan to find out about further exploitation and sexual assaults and just that your child is going to school every day and continues to be under the same duress that she has been, my own child, for the past 2-3 years. And so we didn't show up. I do believe that the reason why no one wanted to dare come and speak to us or just accept a statement was because they did not have enough time to contact the legal department. Because that's something that's happened to me time and time again. Everything is, the principal always says, oh, I have to check with district. And then eventually I'll get emails and I can tell it's legal jargon and just another way to intimidate me when the school lawyer is CC'd, and I'm just always silenced and whatnot. So outside, I asked one of the APs as she was walking to her car to please sign my form. She says, sorry, I'm off the clock, I can't. And then when I saw my child's assistant principal, I kept calling out his name. He was near 2 other teachers. I asked them, is that, that assistant principal by name? And they nodded yes. One of them got his attention when I said, that's my child's assistant principal. When she got his attention, he looked in my direction. He was on the phone. He put the phone down a little bit. He looked at my direction and he said, I'm not talking to you. Again, conspiring to not hear from a parent as if that negates their unlawful conduct. I can talk to you all forever. Unfortunately, yes, these are things that do make you want to cry. This involves life and death. The call to action is to please look at HP 1655. It does talk about rating the instructional materials. We must strengthen our proposed bills. In the situation with Leander ISD, and I'm finding other school districts in Texas, We have to include classroom libraries. When we're talking about removing that obscenity exception, the teachers in Leander ISD, and I have it recorded, a district administrator told myself and another mom that I was at a curriculum review meeting with, that the teachers were given a gift card to half-price books for equity purposes to purchase their own classroom libraries, because you don't want a teacher not to have, the same amount of these so-called literature books. So please make sure that 1655 and Representative Code 631, HB 631, includes the classroom libraries as far as the instructional materials being age appropriate and just having some kind of educational value. I also want to ask you all to keep pushing for ramifications. As a certified teacher, I should have lost my license long ago if I was subjecting students and sexualizing them, subjecting them to harms. We have had pro-choice protests at Glenn High School during school hours. Brave mom here sitting, waiting to talk to y'all after this panel. I was standing next to her last September as she read from Lawn Boy, and the parents' videos went viral. TikTok kept removing the videos as well as YouTube because of the language that was contained therein. At Tom Glenn High School, shortly after, 2 male students were having oral sex in the bathrooms, and a 3rd male videotaping it. And so there's kids like mine picking up their phone during the passing periods and watching this occurring. And we go back to present day where the young lady is telling us about what's currently happening, and we have a systemic breakdown of protecting children. I can talk about HB 1924 as well. I had reporters come to my house who wanted to know what I thought about the the advocate, because again, I'm being charged $9,000. Not every parent could go out there and afford attorney help when we're talking about life and death for their children. That reporter had also remembered that often, I'm a teacher, I will go with my posters when I speak at the school board meetings or just with any legal entity, and the reporter had me have the posters at my table. ABC and CBS was not, it's all blurted out. So the problems are continuing to present day, and I'm so happy. Thank you for inviting me. I know that each one of you will go above and beyond to save children like mine and the rest of the 5.5 million students in the state of Texas. Bless you all and thank you.